Oh, hey, welcome back, y'all. What's up? It's been a while, but not really, because it's just digital, so you don't know how long it's been. But it has been since we've done a video. But here's a new one today. We're talking volume. Volume, right? This is the concept of space, if you will, and not outer space, not like moons and stars and stuff. But volume is that concept again of like how much something can hold. Like if this was a cup, the volume would be like, oh, well, how much can I do until it's full, right? How much goes into that? And it might also be the concept of a box. I'm gonna try to draw. Yeah, that works, right? Okay, we have a box here. And again, like how much goes into this box to fill it up? And that's really what volume is all about. It's like how much a shape, a three-dimensional shape, I think that's important, 3D, a three-dimensional shape can take on and have and possess. So that's what we're looking at trying to accomplish today with this is how much can each one of these things provide and give you all at once. Now, in this case, we really don't have to worry about much. We're not going to look into too many complex three-dimensional shapes. We're really going to be focusing on the rectangle. It's called a rectangular prism, but I think you can see in that prism. I think you can see in that name, it's really just focusing on three-dimensional rectangles. And we're also going to just focus on cubes, which if you're unaware of a cube, that is just a three-dimensional square. So that's really all we need to think about. But of course, we're going to unpack that and go to the beginning and think back to where does this all start? It all starts with that concept of a base. And your base is literally what we've been doing this whole time with area. So if you think about the idea that you have some sort of area, which is really just an array, which is really just rows and columns, then you will start to see that, wow, that says columns somewhere in there, that we are developing this concept again of like how to put all this together. So let's say we have this space. Let's say we have an array here, and this array is 3 by 2, right? And we can measure that. We also, it's just literally counting the squares, 3 columns, 2 rows. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total squares. So that is an area of 6. Now we call this a base as well, because if you think about, and this is going to be very difficult to show on a screen, but we got this, we can do this. If you think about the concept of 3 dimensions, well, these are only 2 dimensions, right? This is the only 2 dimensions I have here is a length or a column and a width, which is my row. But when we're talking 3 dimensional and we're talking volume, like I said, I'm saying 3 dimensions. So, whoa, that was crazy. Never done that before. Whoa. Okay, cool. So we're actually missing a dimension here. So if we break that apart and think what we're doing, it's taking this idea that I have a base of 6, right? 3 by 2. So I'm going to try to redraw this same color. So here's my base of 3 by 2. And then I end up having a height put to it. So we end up then with how tall this is. So I'm going to try to go like this and draw this 3-dimensional piece here. And think now, it's almost like the shape's coming at you. It's always interesting how your eyes will look at it. But we have our base, going back to our base. So this part, this bottom here, which is 3 by 2. And then we have this height of, let's say, I don't know, 4. And what it's saying is that I actually have 4 layers of this base. So I have, okay, here we go. Here's the drawing. So I have 3 by 2. I know I just did that the wrong way, but that's still 6. And then that's happening in each one of these areas here. and it's 4 levels high. So in order to think about how much volume would go in here, I have 3 times 2, which is my base, right? That's my 6. And then there's 4 more levels of it. So my volume would be 24. And in this case, I guess we didn't give it a unit measurement. So we could just call it cubes or blocks. I like cubes. Right? So I don't know. Let's just play around a little bit more with that. Let's think about what that really means. So now we're understanding. Okay, so volume is these 3 dimensions. It's the length of something, it's the width of something, it's the height of something, all put together. And again, we look, we start maybe with this. This is going to be referred to as the base. We're going to be talking about this one as the base quite a bit. So here we have, let's see if I can draw this. Let's draw, I'm gonna try to draw a rectangular prism. Okay. All right, it's looking good. I'm gonna shade in the base to kind of make sense of this again, so this is just the bottom part, right? And that bottom part, let's say measurements, the measures are 3 centimeters. No, we did that last time. I was just kidding. Let's not do 3 centimeters. Let's make it more fun than that. Let's do 6 centimeters. And this side is 3 centimeters. So if you think about just the base, we have 3 by 6. So just the base alone has 18 centimeters squared, because that's 2 dimensions. And then we're actually looking then at how tall this is, which is right here, this height. This is the height. And so if we think about that height measurement, that would be, let's say we have a base of 18, and let's just say in our height, we have another 6 centimeters. So we have 6 more layers. So that's going to be 18 times 6, 48, 60, it's 108. So our volume of this is 108 centimeters cubed, because we're multiplying the centimeters 3 times. 1, 2, 3. This is, you know me, I can't help but talk about this, right? Centimeters times centimeters times centimeters actually just equals centimeters cubed, because who knows what a centimeter times a centimeter is. Okay, so that's really what we're trying to think about doing here, is like if we look at this and we can, and in your case today, you're going to be able to literally just look at things and count these. But just keep in mind that that's what you're doing. You're counting your rows, you're counting your widths, and you're counting your heights. So let's just do one last one and then we'll call it a day on this. So let's see here. Here is another rectangular prism. I'm going to stick with those today. With the rectangular prism, I'm going to shade in the bottom or the base so we can see it. So there's the bottom layer. I like that word, layer. That's a good vocabulary. Layer. And then let's think about, what does the base tell us, right? The base is going to be the length. Oh, let's see. Volume is equal to length times width times height. That's just up there for now. Don't worry about that. That'll come around. So let's say our length is equal to 5 inches. Our width is equal to 2 inches, which means our base is 10 inches. So that's the bottom, right? Base is that bottom. So the bottom is 10 inches, but then we got to think about, well, how many layers or how many levels or how tall, right? What's the height of this shape? Like, how many layers of 10 do we have? And let's say we have 4 inches. So if we think about that, then we have 10, we have a base of 10 times 4 layers, which then gives me my total volume of 40 inches cubed, which means there would be, boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That means this would go across here. Oh, this is awesome. Let's see. Would we say 2 this way? So it goes this. Split that right? Oh no, that go this way. Uh-oh, see, it's already getting messy. This is why it's hard to draw, but whatever. I guess you could say in general, there's about There's not even about, there is exactly 40 cubes in there. Maybe not by my drawing, but mathematically we know that. So that's what you're really thinking about today. And don't worry, like you're literally with the work you're going to do, you're going to be able to look at things and count. Just remember to one, if you walk away with one thing, just walk away with this idea that volume is how much something can hold, right? And we find that measurement through 3 dimensions. So that's 3D, and we do it through the length. We do it through the width, and we do it through the height. That's what you're counting. And we know these two because this is rows and columns. And this one right here is just how many layers of those rows and columns do we have all together. So after all that, let me erase this and just write down that simple way to be thinking about it, which you're going to learn as you go. But today, again, just counting is your length times your width times your height. That's it. I'm leaving you at that. Short video. Get into it. Have fun. Do your thing. Peace out.